Don Mazzella here again. You know, there are a lot of candle makers in the United States and, in fact, around the world. And people have said that candles were the original illumination. With us today is a woman who's made candles into a business. We welcome Sarah Clifford Owen. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello. Thanks for having me.
well, we're glad to. As we ask all our guests, first tell us a little bit about yourself personally, then a little bit about your company, and finally a website before we do anything else.
Sure. I am a mom, first and foremost, of a 2-year-old son named Caleb. And I'm also a healthcare project manager. So I've been in healthcare project management for a little over 10 years now. And I decided, during the pandemic that I wanted to dabble in candle making. It kind of came about with me, burning a lot of candles while I was cooking a lot because, we couldn't go out to eat. And then just kind of saying, I wonder if I could, make candles myself and how I could do that. So, during the pandemic, I did a lot of research, a lot of testing, and out came a business. So the name of my company is the Worthington Collection, and the website is the Worthington, so WORTHINGTON collection.com.
Hmm,
Yeah.
well, that's a start, but there's a lot we want to learn. Now, I hear you're in healthcare, and you all of a sudden
Mhm.
decide that you want to make and sell candles. Now, that's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
jump. So,
it is a random jump. Yeah. So, like I said, during the pandemic, it came to me. So I found myself just cooking almost every day. And I signed up for one of those like subscription boxes where they send you all the ingredients and, you cook it. So I was using a lot of spices and stuff that I wasn't really familiar with. And I mean, they smell amazing, but the lingering smell, like after you're done cooking and like even like the next day, it was kind of like going through the vents. So I was like, all right, we're going to be lighting candles a lot. And, I had candles going and while cooking, it kind of masked the smell, but after the fact, it was still there. So I kind of just started, it just came to me one day, like, oh, I should make my own candles, see if I could figure out something that would get rid of like, the after smell, like actually get rid of it. And I, in doing my research and just everything that I found out about candle making, I was like, this is probably something that I could turn into a business. And I was seeing a lot of celebrities entering the candle making space. So that got me intrigued. Like, I wonder what they know that I don't know. And I wanted to find a way to set my company and my candles apart from the other scented candles out there. So I figured I need to also try to find out how I can make them odor eliminating. So, it's not just masking odors while the candle's lit, it's actually, clearing the air once the candle has been extinguished, like whatever underlying smells, whether it be from cooking or whatever it is that you have going on. Like, there's always something in your home that you might not want to be like smelling for long periods of time. So I came up with a candle that was odor eliminating and smells beautiful.
okay, let's back up a little bit. See that? Um, so, in effect, your selling point is the fact not only that it smells good, but it eliminates odors after it's out.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Now
They
that's
do.
really interesting. I've had candle makers on, but no one's told me that before. Well, how did you?
Yeah, that sorry, what was that?
No, you're the guest. What were you gonna
No.
say?
No, like when I was looking at all the other beautiful candles out there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to come out with a candle, and what's going to be my selling point? Like, what's going to set me apart? So, odor eliminating was it. So, I reached out to a couple companies, and my candle line is natural and vegan. So I use natural waxes, cotton wicks, and so I wanted to, include something that would, still be natural, not release any harmful toxins in the air, all of that. So, I worked with a company for, a natural odor eliminating additive that, it's like an enzyme that eliminates odors at a molecular level. So That's what's in my candles, and they really do work.
So it's an enzyme that you found, or that's not available to
It
everybody,
it
but
is so it's a proprietary formula. So I did work with someone to kind of make it just so I can include it in candles. So don't want to give too much away with that because I do want to set myself apart. But it is something that is used in other industries for aerosols and stuff. So they were able to make it for me to include in my candles, and it keeps my candles safe, non-toxic, and everything that I stand for in my brand.
hmm. Okay, so it's called the the Worthington what?
The Worthington Collection.
Okay, and how'd you come up with that name?
So I wanted to, find a name that was kind of in the family. And, this is a luxury candle brand. So I was thinking along the lines of, okay, something that sounds, luxury. My husband's middle name is Worthington. So I said, okay, we're using that. And I wanted to, not just make it like a candle company because, I do hope to expand into other areas that, of home goods, like luxury home furnishings, home goods one day. I have big dreams. So we'll see where we land. But I wanted to create a name that could kind of adapt to anything else that I want to do in the future. So that's where that came
Well,
from.
well, you're just saying this matter of factly, yet you you jumped off the cliff with your own business. Are you still in healthcare as well, holding down three jobs actually, mom?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And, during the pandemic, we actually got busier in my line of work. So it was kind of hard to find the time to, to do the research and the testing and everything that was involved. But yep, I'm still a full-time healthcare project manager. But I do hope that, eventually my business will take off where that will be my full-time focus.
Hmm. Where are you located?
I'm in Davie, Florida.
Oh, and where?
So yeah, Davie, Florida. So it's just a little outside of Fort Lauderdale,
Oh,
Florida.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So now, well, let's back up a little bit. You decide you're going to go into business. You know what? I have people in this program that spent 3 or 4 years maybe figuring out how to make the jump, and you just made it. So tell us. Well, first you had to find an enzyme to do this. So what did you do, and how'd you go about it?
Um, a lot of research, and with my background in project management, everything is detailed. I have my project plan, and I just kind of laid out all the steps, everything that I needed to accomplish, added. I mean, I have a very long list of items on that project plan that I had to accomplish and close out. And I also found some great people that I work with outside of the perfumers who make the fragrances and the company that makes the enzyme for the odor eliminating additive. I have other people who are managing my social media and just other areas, PR, just so I could take my attention away from those areas and focus, on creating a beautiful product. And I'm successful at it.
So you took your product management knowledge and put
Mhm.
it to work creating the company.
Right.
And
Yes.
in less than about a year to do all of this.
Yeah, so I think the idea sprung into my head around March of last year. And I just really just started, doing my research, reaching out to people in about April. So just a little over a year. Yeah,
No.
it took me to get to the point where I'm getting ready to launch on Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Okay, how are you launching? What's your plan for that? I'm sure you got it detailed.
I do. So right now we're going to be online only. So I have my website, www.theworthingtoncollection.com. So I'll be selling primarily there. So the website goes live on June 15th. Right now, my social media, so my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, those have been up for about 2 weeks now. And every day we're kind of just, getting engagement, posting, coming soon, posting pictures of the candles just to get everybody excited and ready to go for launch day.
Do you have a sample there to show us?
Yeah, I do. So I have So I have two different collections. I have a signature collection, which will start launch with 6 different candles, and then I have a luxe collection. So I chose 3 candles. This one is, hopefully you can see it. There's a little bit of glare. So this is one from the signature collection. It's called Oceanfront Dreamscape. So I think it might be a little, you can
Hmm.
see that. So all of the candles are the same size, so 12 ounces, and they have 3 wicks for that, beautiful scent throw. A scent throw is when you light the candle and what you smell when it's lit. So, these candles throw beautifully. You smell them, all over your house. So that's my Oceanfront Dreamscape from the Signature Collection. And then I also have Prestige, you can read that. And that's also from the Signature Collection. And then I have one from the Luxe Collection in this really pretty gold speckled vessel. And this one's called Bespoke.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. How did you
Uh-huh.
come up with the design, and how did you choose? Well, and if you had a designer, how did you choose that
I did.
designer?
Um, so again, more research, looking at places like Upwork that have a lot of freelancers posted on there, and you can read reviews and, just see, if they've done the kind of work that you're looking for. So found most of the people that assisted me with this project through there. And
Oh, wait a
I had a
second.
lot of,
You
uh,
passed over it. Say the name again.
sorry,
Uh,
oh, Upwork,
okay,
Upwork. Yeah.
okay.
So they have it's, and there's also another site called Fiverr, but they allow freelancers to, just kind of post, on there, and you can post jobs and reach out to people who kind of have the experience and expertise that you're looking for. So it's a really awesome site. I recommend it for, new business owners when you're looking for, let's say, website building or product development. I was able to find pretty much everybody in those sites.
Hmm. So, okay, you got your design, but how did you settle on your design? And hold up one of them again so we can talk about the
Yeah.
design.
Oceanfront Dreamscape. So I really like gray. So it might be a little bit hard to tell, but all the signature line vessels are a cool gray color, and then it has like a gold interior. So I just kind of had the color gray in my mind for my signature collection. I wanted to create vessels because I feel like that can fit into any decor. And then for a pop of color, I wanted each candle to have its own, kind of distinct, colorful label. So, I worked with a branding agency. They kind of laid out different, colors and designs for me to choose from. And, I actually chose all the names from my candles. So I kind of, based on the name of the candle, picked the colors and the design that I thought would work best to kind of bring out, how awesome these candles are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but did you establish a budget for setting up your company?
I did. Yeah, that was actually the first thing that I did was, set up a budget, kind of, decide how much I had to work with. It was completely self-funded. So there were some limitations. Of course, I couldn't go as grand as I wanted to for now. But budgeting is actually really important, and you need to stick to a budget. There were some times where there were some challenges where I had to move things around. During the pandemic, getting supplies was kind of hard. So, there was some increased pricing that I had to deal with along the way. But, having that established budget definitely helped keep me on track and, get me to the point where I could launch, successfully and, not worry about, okay, I don't have finances to cover, the expenses that are going to come from owning a business.
Well, they are. Um,
Mhm.
uh, Somebody produces the candles for you.
No, so all of the candles are they're hand poured. So I do the work, and I do have an assistant as well. So that's one of the features of my candles is that they're hand poured. And there's a difference. I feel like candles that are kind of just like manufactured in mass, and those that are hand poured. I mean, you can I feel you can tell a difference. And we just put like a lot of love and effort into it. So yeah.
Okay. Just a side issue. Where did you go to? Did you go to college, and if so, where?
I did. So I went to Nova Southeastern University. That's also right here in Davie, and it's literally across the street from my house. Somehow I ended up right, right back across the street. So I did my undergraduate studies there in legal studies, and then I got a master's in public administration from there as well.
Hmm.
Many years ago. I don't want to give away my age, but it
Well,
was quite some time.
well, but you have a 2-year-old, so you're still young.
I do. Okay, thank you. I'll take it.
Okay. Well, you have to be to have a 2-year-old. I
Yes, it's
mean,
a
in the
lot of
sense of
energy. Oh
they're
yeah,
active.
he
So,
keeps me young.
uh, so, and you do. Where do you do your manufacturing? In your home, or did you set up a shop someplace?
No, I did set up just a small warehouse because there's a lot of we need a lot of space. There's a lot of boxes, a lot of products. All the vessels and the wax and everything took a lot of space. So unfortunately, my home didn't really accommodate all of that. So I do have a separate little warehouse here in Davie as well, where we manufacture the candles.
Okay, now how much does your collection cost? Um, I'm a consumer. So?
Right. So the signature collection starts at 60, so it's $60. And then the Lux collection, which was this, is $70. And then we also have a lot of discounts, and I have something called Club Worthington, where every purchase you make, every dollar is 1 point. And once you get to a certain amount of points, you get a certain amount of off. You get a discount code for 5, 10, $20
Hmm.
off your next purchase. And then we also have a bundle deal on the signature collection. So when you get 3 of those candles, you get $15 off. So I'm always looking for ways that my customers can save, and we're
Hmm.
always going to be having promotions and everything. So try to
Hmm.
make it affordable. But these candles, like I said, they're 12 ounces, and the burn time is up to 80 hours. So they last really long.
80
You're not going
hours.
to be. Yes, yeah. So with the coconut and apricot waxes that I use, they produce a much slower burn than let's say just like paraffin or some of the other waxes out there, or even soy. So they do last a lot longer, and they smell amazing.
Well, okay. So your website again for our audience?
Yes, so it's www.theworthingtoncollection.com. So you Worthington, Worthington, and
Hmm.
collection.
Well, now, so I go on your site and I say I want a collection which is three,
Mhm.
a three bundle. So and that would be 100, 60, $180, right? Oh,
So if you get the bundle, it's actually going to be 165
okay.
because we have a
So,
bundle discount. Yep, if you get 3 in that, it's called Create Your Own
oh,
Collection. So you can put any 3 of the signature candles, and you get that $15 off.
now, how did you arrive at your price points?
Well, I really had to look at the cost of manufacturing. So, my vessels, my wax, the wicks, like the fragrance oil. The fragrance oils that I use, they're not, generic. They are custom to my business. So I worked with a company to actually formulate. So that was a little bit more expensive than just buying fragrance oils off the shelf. So all of that had to, factor in the packaging, um, all of those expenses pack, into my price. And of course, I have to be able to make a profit as well. So because I'm in the luxury candle space, I looked at other candles that are at similar price points. And I wanted to make sure that I could stand out. So, outside of the odor eliminating factor, there are a lot of candles in the, $60 price range that are only 8 ounces. So mine are 12 ounces. Mine have the 3 wicks, so you're going to get that, strong scent through. You're going to smell the candle in a few rooms. So I that's kind of how I came up with the pricing.
Hmm. as good as any. Sometimes I often think, listening to people, that some people pull it out of the air, but
No,
you,
no, no. Definitely have to account for all your expenses, to make sure that you can make a profit because you're in business to make a profit. So
okay. Well, you've got your entry point. Have you thought about your exit point?
exit point, what do you mean?
Uh, every business has an entry point and an exit point. You haven't, you know,
I don't plan on exiting this business anytime soon.
okay, that's the answer. You're starting out, but I
Yep, definitely
have
don't
to
want to
ask.
think about that part.
Okay, well, what role does your husband play in all of this?
He is very supportive and he's also the muscle. So whenever there, heavy shipments that come in, he's definitely there to help me with that. Again, very supportive and, he just, it's really awesome to have that support system. He just really just inspires me and, tells me to go for it on the days where I'm just like, all right, I don't think I can do this. He's there to remind me, yes, you can, you've gotten this far, keep going. So yeah, very
Do you
supportive husband I have.
think that's important for every entrepreneur to have someone like that?
It is important to have a support system because you are going to have some days where you feel discouraged. There's definitely a learning curve. There's a lesson to be learned in everything that you do, and sometimes those lessons are hard. One such lesson for me was my very first shipment of candle vessels. When they were being removed from the truck, they fell off the truck. So there were just boxes of these glass vessels everywhere. And I was just standing there looking at it like, oh my goodness, I haven't even started yet, and this is happening. Fortunately, it looked a lot worse than it was. There was only maybe just like 40 or 50 vessels that broke. So that wasn't as bad. But it was a lesson learned, like, okay, I need to make sure, the next shipment that I get, I say, hey, we need to make sure it's coming in on the proper truck, you have the proper equipment to offload it, etc. So while I could have probably just given up and thrown my hands up that day and said, nope, not doing this, I pushed forward. And there's going to be a lot of lessons like that as a business owner. I'm sure there's many more to come for me, but definitely not to get discouraged and just keep your eye on, your goals and dreams and go forth and accomplish.
Well, your website again for our audience as we're getting come close to the
Y-
end.
Yeah, sure. It's www.theworthingtoncollection.com. And also on Instagram, it's at the Worthington Collection. So easy to find. Go out and follow
Well,
me.
one question: have you made sure that's such a great name? I'm surprised no one has ever picked it up.
I was too. I searched high and low to make sure. Nope, I'm the only one.
Well, you're to be congratulated. Now, we just have a minute or two left. What would you like to leave
Okay.
our audience with?
Definitely, I think my candles are going to be a welcome surprise in your home. So I would love if you could go and check it out. The odor eliminating factor is what separates my candles from all the others in the luxury candle space. Not only that, but they are beautiful and highly scented. But if you may not even have realized that you had an issue where, a scented candle wasn't actually, getting rid of lingering odors. But think about cooking, think about pets odors, any other lingering odor that you may have in your home. My candle will get rid of that so you're not smelling it even after the candle has been lit. So definitely go out and check out one of my candles.
Well, on that note, we want to thank Sarah Clifford Owen for being
Yes.
with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.